back to now the SA T20. So first thing though, before we even talk about SA T20, Davian, what are your thoughts on so many franchise cricket happening right now? SA T20, ILT20, Bangladesh Premier League. There's so much franchise cricket going around. It's even hard to keep up with it as fans.
I really dislike franchise cricket. They basically interrupting each other. I mean, I remember 5 6 years ago, 5 5 to 6 years ago, you knew certain aspects in the calendar year was dedicated to a particular franchise. And with that said, the franchise cricket, the quality was better because the best players were there, were more competitive. But I think the franchise competition is now a bit watered down with players being spread so far. I will see where players they're playing part of a franchise league and going to a next one to another piece and going to one to the next. So right to get the big box. Right. So well, it is good in the sense that certain low profile players will get exposure since they're competing, leagues are competing with each other to get the
Yeah.
best players. So they have to basically look for the low profile ones with international experience.
Yes. And so that is how we can see. So there are seven West Indians in the SAT 20. This one, I really like this one so far. We have three of them playing for the Super Giants, the Pooran, Kyle Mayers, Keemo Paul. We have Fabian Allen for Pearl Royals with Obed McCoy. We have Pollard and we have Sheperd. Well, we're not going to talk so much about Pollard since he's no longer active in
Right.
international
He's mostly
cricket.
coaching material these days.
Yes. So we'll definitely get into Pollard a little bit. But let's start with Nicky P. Pooran is done, by the way, in SAT 20. He played three matches. Um, that's Pooran's three matches. 15, 16 not out, one of and lovely innings. Helping his team to get over the line against Eastern Cape MI. He made a 11, 15, averaging 43, strike rate 160. But it was really that one innings where he scored 16. I thought that was breathtaking. And by the way, he's gone now over, I think, to the ILT20 or the BPL. One of those leagues is gone
Right.
to. So just as you were pointing out, all over the place. But that's Nicholas Pooran's SAT20. Your thoughts on Nicholas Pooran? These three scores, one big innings, the other two not so hot. Your thoughts on Pooran?
Well, I'm satisfied. I mean, the strike rate is over 150 and average over 40. I mean, Nicholas Pooran, I mean, he can win games by himself. So, I mean, he's an X Factor player. So we don't expect him to have these explosive 50 plus scores every game. And the thing about Nicholas Pooran that Percy don't really talk about much is feeling. So even though he may not contribute that explosive innings with the bat, you're guaranteed that he will do well in the outfield and also is a very reliable rookie keeping option. Right. So that's very, very important. And also him being there, he provides a fear factor. Teams know that they have to get him out early. And sometimes they're focusing so much on Nicholas Pooran, they basically all attention is off is the other batter that is there.
Yeah,
So
and he's in a star-studded team, so you
right,
can't
exactly.
focus on
So
him alone.
exactly. So I'm very satisfied with this performance. Very satisfied.
I'm satisfied as well. Excellent numbers. Can't wait to see him back in our colors to take on Australia. And we're smashing them in the T20s.
Right. Most definitely.
Now, the next person is Keemo Paul, playing with both Kyle Mayers and Nicholas Pooran. Keemo Paul, we see that they're moving up Keemo Paul up the order, batting at 4, 5, 6, depending on the situation. He didn't quite get off in any of the games, and his bowling very average. Apart from the game where he took 2 for 31 from 4 overs, his bowling has been very average. So Keemo Paul, your thoughts on him? He looks fit. So what's your thoughts on Keemo Paul playing in SAT 20? And do you think that if he gets in good rhythm here, Your thoughts on if there's a possibility we can see Keemo Paul sneak back into the West Indies squad in time for the World Cup?
All right. So really batting, it's hard for him to really assess his batting because he's not at one position, so we can say where he's most effective because he's basically all over the order. So yeah, the batting is not working in his favor. Re a comeback and the bowling. We have an innings where he was going nearly 12 runs and over, and also another innings where he was going 10 runs and over. On the one innings where basically was very decent, where he took a 2 for 31. So his performances for his team is basically below average. It's below average. Right. Yeah.
But one thing you can say is that he's excellent in the outfield. Does that not account for anything?
Wow. If he does make the squad, he must be used as a reserve option for when we want to put players on field. Right. But right. But I'm keeping a close eye on him. He's a good exposure for him. He's playing against quality bowling against quality batters and bowling against quality. So he play against some quality players, right? Batting and bowling. So if he gets called up for other franchise leagues, and I see where this is just a start for him. So if he performs in other leagues, then we can have him around the squad, But I also need to watch his fitness because I've seen several times where he's in the squad and he cannot play because of fitness issues. So we
Yeah,
also not only
yeah,
look at
like
performance, but his fitness.
his
Very
fitness. Yeah,
important, right? Very important.
definitely. No, Fabian Allen, he's been having a dreadful SA T20 so far. Not contributing to his team's victories. Well, with the bat or with the ball. Look at that. 3 innings, 10 runs, averaging 3. And he had that none for 14, but he only bowled 1 over so far in the competition. He's a specialist fielder and he's doing excellent in the field. But Fabian Allen, what's wrong with Fabian Allen? We're watching him.
Wow.
He's not really contributing with bat or ball, only in the
I,
field. What do you think is wrong with
I,
Fabian?
I think Fabian Allen is a case of more mental, right, more than anything else. And I really think if he gets one good innings, then we see a complete turnaround. Why they probably extending the run with him. They know important. They know that feeling can win games. So it brings the energy in the field, so they're working with that. But they know one good innings with the bat and they turn around. So they give him a very, very long rope. And energy in the field is very important. We can see how one run can make a big difference in T20.
Definitely, definitely. But Fabian Allen, as fans, we want to see you come back in form. So definitely, we need to see some work be done by Fabian Allen.
And also the bowling. I would also like to see them bowling more. Probably since he's low on confidence, when the game is already certain of where it's going, they can probably give him an over here and there to really let him work himself into rhythm. So
Well,
yeah,
with franchise cricket, I don't think they'll do that. More so in the Caribbean Premier League, but maybe not in a franchise league across the world. They're not going to be focused on any any player's development. That's not their job. Their job is to win, make some money. That's the job
but
of the franchise.
I'm more concerned about him not bowling in most of the games. Yeah, that is my most concerning thing about his statistics right now. They're not trusting him to bowl.
Yeah, definitely. No, Kyle Mayers. Kyle Mayers, Nicholas Pooran is no longer a part of the Super Giants team. He's left and he's gone now to either BPL or ILT20.
I,
So Pooran not there anymore. Kyle Mayers got a chance to open. He batted with Rickleton and Quinton de Kock batting at 3 in order to let Kyle Mayers open the batting. And so far his first game, I think he scored 11 of 10 or 9 deliveries. Not really. up to par. It's his first match, but your thoughts on Kyle Mayers, given that Quinton de Kock is batting right behind of him, and what does this mean for him as it relates to even opening for West Indies?
Kyle Myers need an excellent SA T20. I mean, we see we're in the squad. Johnson Charles is basically breathing down his neck. So I'm paying attention to the amount of runs he scores and also the strike rate. But he definitely needs some runs. If he doesn't make runs soon, Quentin the knock would definitely tell them he wants to open back. We see how destructive Quentin the knock can be. And Quentin the knock is basically sacrificing himself to let Carl Myers have a go. But I think they probably give him 3 games to really make an impact. If he does not make an impact in 3 games, then I believe he'll be dropped. And then he's not bowling. He's not bowling as much since recently, even though his swings and seam, the new ball, his bowling workload has really reduced. So it's not like he is given that 6 bowling option like before.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. No, this man has been firing with the ball. He's been bowling up to 146, 47 kilometers per hour, bowling fast. Um, 2 for 31 in 4 overs, 1 for 30 in 4 overs, 1 for 26 in 4 overs. Only just this bad game today. Earlier, none for 31. So one bad game for Obed McCoy. So he's doing really well so far. Your thoughts on Obed McCoy and also if this can lead to him getting back selected for West Indies.
Wow, I'm very excited about Obed McCoy. I mean, bowling with pace, very important.
And Bones,
Right. He's bowling getting wickets and also bowling at a good economy rate. Right now with the West Indies T20 squad, apart from Azar Joseph, we really lack a bowler who can bowl 140 plus consistently. So wow. Right. Well, O'Shane Thomas, when in full flow, he can. But I think Obed McCoy is basically challenging O'Shane Thomas. The only person he can probably replace right now from the squad is O'Shane Thomas.
definitely.
Right.
So that second spot for fast bowlers, up for
Right.
grabs, and McCoy definitely. But what do you think about his fitness? Because even in most of the games, he's been limping off the field. Bowl 2 overs up front, then come back for the death overs. But he's limping off and coming back on. And we see Just Butler stretching him, Fabian Allen helping him, motivating him. What's wrong with Obed McCoy's fitness? What's the issue?
I think he as his upper body is way bigger than his lower body. So I think really needs to strengthen his lower body. His lower body really needs strengthening. His lower body is not managing his upper body weight, and that is the issue. But even though he's being economical and taking wickets and bowling with pace, I mean, if he's limping on and limping off, then they may be reluctant to replace him with O'Shane Thomas, whose fitness is way better than Obed McCoy.
Definitely. No, this man has had an awful time so far in SA T20. Romario Sheperd. We know that right now he's basically West Indies quote unquote #1 lead all rounder. But he hasn't looked like our lead all rounder so far. He got out for a duck. And the first match he made 34. And in that match where he made 34, he went 1 for 49. So he traveled. So what do you
Yeah.
reckon now is going wrong for what's going
Well,
wrong for and as you can see the different dates, the first match January 12th, 34 against Pollard's team. And he was also dropped on, I think, 3 runs. So he should have actually made 3. So what do you
I'm
think
very
is going wrong
concerned.
for
I'm very
Shepard?
concerned about Romario Sheperd's batting and bowling. We see here for his bowling is going 10 plus runs consistently, and he's not being impactful with the bat. However, his fielding is very good. I saw where he took a blinder of a catch. Wow, a spectacular
Yeah,
catch. Bro,
yeah,
that when that shot played, I thought he was going for 4. and he basically went up mid-year and pouted. But if this poor form continues, is a possibility his spot may be replaced by someone. Right?
Well, I think he's safe. I think the big three are safe. Andre Russell, Jason Hole, and Romario Sheperd. There are big three all-rounders. But if he continues this, maybe he doesn't play because Jason Hole and Andre Russell, they're already there. So
Right. But
let's
is an improving player. I wonder if the injury that he had a part, because remember he was I realize when players in excellent form and they get injured and they come back, most times their form tailor off.
yeah.
Yeah, right. He had
Maybe
a
the injury
niggle.
played a part, but we're not so sure.
Yeah, because I remember they stopped playing in T20 because of a niggle. Nigga in
Yeah,
the knee. I'm maybe it was more than a nigga. Initially it was a nigga, but the right was more than a nigga.
maybe.
He didn't play the rest of the game. So I, I really want to see him back in form. Yeah, he's when he's form, he's a match winner. He will win you games from positions from very unlikely positions.